Hi, everyone. Hi, Seattle. GeekWire rocks. So, an entrepreneur, which is most of the people in this room, is a leader, just by definition. You start a company because you see a problem, and then you see a solution to that problem. And then you make that solution happen. And it's not always easy, but that's what entrepreneurship is. When we started PopCap, we saw that only people who played games or said they were gamers were playing games. That 85% of the population didn't think they liked games. And we thought that was a problem because games are for everybody. So we started PopCap. And so far, so good. We're making games, and a lot more people are playing games now than 12 years ago. And there's lots of talk about leadership, what it means, what makes a good leader, ways to increase effectiveness. CNN.com asked 5 leading leadership professionals what makes a good leader. And I don't know what a leadership professional is, but I think it's someone who writes a book or does some kind of circuit of talking about leadership. But there are many answers, 23 answers, and some good ones. They were, and I'm going to list them off: honesty, focus, passion, respect, persuasion, confidence, clarity, care, integrity, compassion, shared vision and actions, engagement, celebration, humility, empowering, collaborative, communicative, fearlessness, genuine, self-aware, leverage team strengths, change management, and supportive. I'm here to talk about a leadership skill that's not in that list. It isn't talked about often, it's not sexy, and I believe it's one of the most important and one that everyone can take advantage of. That is listening. In my spare time, I help out with an organization called Charity Water. Who here has heard of Charity Water? All right. So everyone who hasn't heard of Charity Water, go to charitywater.org. Charity Water's mission is to solve the world's water crisis. Over 1 billion people don't have access to clean and safe drinking water. That sucks. They decided on the water because they felt like even though there were so many problems in the developing world, right? There's AIDS, malaria, there's hygiene, education, sustainability. There's so many problems in the developing world, but they thought that water, that access to clean and safe drinking water was at the core of all these other problems, that all the other problems got better if people could drink safe water, if kids didn't get sick whenever they drank the thing they needed. They believe that water changes everything, that water is a foundational solution. And I believe that when it comes to leadership, listening is a foundational skill. So in my unscientific survey of the internet, I found that 2 out of 15 websites even brought listening up when they were talking about leadership. See, it's not sexy. Listening is not about you. Persuasion, that's cool. That's totally cool. Who doesn't want to be a persuader? Empowering, we all want to empower our teams. Humility, not everyone wants to be humble. But listening, it's so important. See, I think first, listening is one of the few actual ways that you can gain wisdom. If you listen, you'll learn something. And it's not about the knowledge that you'll learn, but a deeper wisdom. So early on, before we were making any money, we were making about $1,500 a month licensing Bejeweled to MSN Games. And this was not a very good amount of money for a startup, but we had millions of people playing Bejeweled per month. And this was back in modem times when people used to dial up. And a lot of our customers were asking, like, hey, I want to play the game offline. So we created this different version, this one they could download to their computer. And we were like, we don't know if anyone's going to pay for this. It's the same game that they can play for free. The only difference is it doesn't have ads and they can download it. And so we told one of our friends and business partners about this, and he said, well, how much are you thinking about charging? We said, I don't know, like $3 or $4. And he goes, whoa! But he's English, so it was a lot more stifled than that. It was like, and so he's like, you got to charge more than that. And we asked a lot of questions. We had a huge amount of respect for this guy. He was a fellow entrepreneur. And he says, look, you can't raise your price. I regret charging so little for the games that I put on the Palm Pilot. You should really charge more. And so we listened, sold the game for $19.95, and that was really the start of our company. We made $35,000 in the first month, growing up to $45,000, $55,000, and it just kept going up from there. So listening and really asking questions when you don't understand something can be very powerful. The other side of it is if you don't listen, there's a big cost to that. A couple years ago, we had an offer to sell PopCap. And myself, the founders, and the CEO were a little bit nervous about the future. Facebook was new. iOS was new. We had Bejeweled Blitz, our Facebook game, and it was doing well, but we weren't making any money from it. And we saw companies like Playfish out there and Zynga just taking off, and we were a little insecure about whether or not PopCap would adapt. Adapting is one of the hardest things a company can do. And so we got this offer to sell the company, and it was a huge offer, over $300 million. And we said, look, to the board, look to some of the executives, we think we should take this deal. And they go, no, don't take that deal. The board was saying, if you're going to sell your company, run a process, be deliberate about it. Don't just talk to a company because they spoke with you. They said, get some bankers, get some help. This is a hard thing. And we said, no, we're worried about this. You guys are just saying that because you don't have to do the work. And then some of our executives, Dennis Ryan, who runs publishing and sales and marketing for us, he said, look, let's say we knock the Facebook stuff out of the park. Let's say we continue iOS. We'll be worth way more. It'll be a much better company for it. And if you don't, you'll be worth the same amount in a year and a half. And we're like, no. So we went down the path. We ignored everyone. It was our own fears and insecurities that prevented us from actually doing what I think in retrospect was the right thing, which was saying, not right now. We not only would have gotten a horrible deal at the time, we also would have had to lay off one of our studios, and we prevented, while we were talking to that company, 6 months of organizational changes that needed to happen. So by listening, you can really learn something. And when your own fears or insecurities or worries are driving you, the only thing you can really do is listen to those people around you. But that doesn't always mean agreeing with people. In both of my examples, one was because we agreed with someone, one because we didn't. Who here has been sued by an employee that you fired or let go? All right, you guys need to hire more employees. So it sucks. It's horrible. People often react not out of maliciousness in those situations, but because they feel betrayed, they feel insecure, they feel like they failed. I found that when you do have to let someone go, as hard as that is you got to listen to them. You got to be there, right? Because that's like the hardest thing you can do is tell someone, hey, you're really not performing, or hey, you're not right for the job, even though you're really smart. And I really believe that if you sit down and listen to what they have to say and you acknowledge how they're feeling, then you'll have a chance of actually making a walkaway experience where everyone can be happy. The same with giving bad reviews or making hard organizational changes. In a growing company, sometimes you have to tell someone, I know you're a VP and I know you're in charge of something, but you shouldn't be as in charge of that as you are, that we're going to have to hire someone. That's not a fun conversation for anybody. But if you really talk to them and listen, you can make it a lot easier. So what does it mean to have an active listening practice? For me, the word active is key. Listening is not a passive thing. It's not just sitting there and letting people talk while you think about football games or anything. It's really about being there and being present. And the second thing is a practice, because you're never there. You're never like, I'm a good listener. I'm done with that. I'm going to go work on something else. See, by having an active listening practice, I believe all those other traits will get better, right? You'll be more focused because you'll really hear the effects of not being a focused leader. That compassion will go up because if you really understand where someone's coming from, if you really know how they're feeling, you can't help but be compassionate and empathetic. That listening will help you learn people's strengths, help you understand their weaknesses, and help you realize that a lot of people's weaknesses are not character flaws, that they're just working through things and they're aware of them, but you won't know that if you're not listening. By listening, you give those around you more passion, power, accountability, and drive. They're more accountable to the business because they know that even if you don't agree with them, even if you make a decision that people don't like, that if you listen to them, they will support you. So it's hard. So I'll challenge you. I'll challenge everybody in this room tomorrow, just tomorrow. Listen a little bit more than you normally would. Ask more questions when you're talking with someone. Focus on the other person. Repeat back what they say for clarification if it's a little ambiguous. Pause and reflect. It's okay to say, that's an interesting point. I'm going to think about it for 10 seconds before I get back to you. That's not awkward. Silence is okay. It's not going to bite you. let go of your own points, right? Stop thinking about, but really just let it go. Don't wait to just talk less, and be present. Just one day, try it, be aware. I'm not asking for anything that, and when you feel like you were particularly good or bad at it, just jot your experience down or make a mental note of it. You'll have a great day. I guarantee it. And if not, write me saying, your stupid listening sucks. So thank you, everyone. Welcome to the award show. This is going to be awesome. Thank you, GeekWire. All right, let's go.